So the federal government just introduced an interesting incentive for first-time home buyers. And this is likely in response to the heavy impact that the OSFI stress tests have had on young and first-time home buyers. And while I applaud the Prime Minister and his team's efforts to spur buying activity again by committing $1.25 billion to this program, and I'm sure many of you might be asking yourself, how might this apply to you and how does it work? And of course, how does this affect the Toronto and GTA real estate market? So I'm going to explain how this actually works with a little bit of simple Pete math, and hopefully this program might actually be useful for you if you're buying for the very first time. But before we get into that, let's have a look at this handsome gentleman over here. Okay, so let's get into the nitty-gritty of this new program and incentive as quickly as possible. Because as you know, we all have worse attention spans than little Goldie over here. So get to the damn point, Pete, alright? But the gist of it is this. So if you are a first-time home buyer and you're looking to purchase a brand new property, so pre-construction or straight from the developer, then this program could apply to you. I'm sure the developers played a very passive and insignificant role in lobbying for this incentive. This is the basic criteria if you think this might actually fit your profile. So your household income must be under $120,000. Okay, easy enough, right? Then again, like I mentioned, you need to purchase a brand new property. This doesn't apply to resale. And you must have at least 5% down payment, which would automatically make it an insured mortgage with CMHC. And then what happens is CMHC will offer you a 10% loan or equity. We're not exactly sure how it works now as they're still working out the kinks of the deal. The insured mortgage will be capped off at 4 times your household income. And you can now use up to $35,000 of your RRSPs towards your down payment versus the old rules, which was $25,000 per person. So let's say your household income is $120,000 or slightly less. Then your maximum mortgage amount for this program would only be $480,000. So as an example, let's say you wanted to buy something around $500,000 and you only had 5% down. So simple math, 5% of $500,000 is $25,000. Way to go! So then CMHC will say, okay, we'll either lend you or invest into you another 10% of that down payment. So 10% of $500,000 is $50,000. Very good! High five! So $50,000 plus $25,000 gets us to $75,000 as a quote-unquote down payment for your property. And then if we subtract $75,000 from the value of the property, $500,000, that brings us to $425K. So if we look back to the numbers in terms of the max amount that you can get, which is 4 times the household income, this would qualify here at $425,000 as your insured mortgage amount. And I do like the fact that the government is rolling this out in phases. So in the first year, they're going to commit $400 million to this program for the next 2 years as well to make it $1.25 billion. But again, like I mentioned before, the part that's still really up in the air is how are we going to apply that 10% that the government is investing in your property? Now, does it mean they're going to take 10% of the profits when you sell? Or if you end up losing money on the property when you sell, are they going to absorb that 10% loss as well? That is still up in the air. There's still question marks all over the place, but I'm sure the government will figure it out. But I think the easier approach is probably to give it to you as a interest-free loan. But I do appreciate having a young and progressive Prime Minister who thinks about applying policies in a timely manner versus knowing exactly how things are going to play out. Sure, he's not perfect, but I'll give him points for trying. And now most experts and pundits think that this probably won't have much of an impact in the Toronto real estate market or even in Vancouver because our average prices are way beyond the $500,000 or $600,000 so-called limit that buyers can use in this program. But I wouldn't be so quick to judge whether this will have any sort of impact because it is intended to help people who are wanting to get into the market and are affected by the stress test. So we're not thinking that this will impact the market in a huge way, but it is intended to help those who are in the lower income tax brackets trying to get a piece of the Canadian dream of property ownership. So I wouldn't underestimate this impact because everyone is thinking of downsizing and purchasing smaller properties at this point anyways. So if you're in that bracket of purchasing a smaller townhouse or a condo, or especially even in the GTA where it is a lot more affordable, you definitely want to give us a call so you can work with our mortgage team to figure out whether this program is a good fit for you or not. I think it's something that you should definitely take advantage of if it fits your needs and profile. And again, as always, if you have any questions, feel free to give us a call or send us an email. So until next time, guys, thanks for watching. Tell your friends, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Spring is coming!